Hello dear Rajni Crane Volume 2. In this video lecture, I will discuss MCQ solution related to chapter number 30, that is about capacitor. So let's begin. Question number 1 is, two parallel metal plates that have charges Q1 and Q2. Is this an example of capacitor? Option A is yes. Option B is only if Q1 is equal to minus of Q2. Option C is only if the signs of two charges are different. And option D is no. So for a capacitor to exist, there should be two metal plates and it should be separated from each other through a distance. So there is doesn't matter the imbalance of charges. So option A is the correct option. Question number 2 is, the center of two identical conducting spheres of radius r are separated by a distance that is greater than 2r, like the distance double of their radius. A charge plus q is on the one sphere and charge of minus q is on the other. The capacitance of the system is C0. Additional charge is now transferred so that the charge on each sphere is double. So what is the new capacitance now that the charges have changed? It's 4f original capacitance, or 2 times of original capacitance, or this is equal to the original capacitance, or it could be the 1 by 2 of the original capacitance, or this information is not enough to give answers. So now we have these two spheres that are having a radius r and they are separated through each other with a distance t that is greater than 2r. So we have to discuss that what is new capacitance when the additional charge is transferred. As we know that the capacitance is actually dielectrical factor, so it depends upon the dielectric inside the capacitor as well as the shape, size and area of the capacitor, but not on the charges or potential difference. So option C is the correct option. Next part is, what is the new potential difference between the spheres? It's 4q by c0, 2q by c0, or q by c0, or q by 2c0, or not enough information to give the answer. So here we know that the charge initially was q, but now the new charge is double, like 2q. So by definition we know that q is equal to c delta v. So if we see here the potential delta v, this is equal to q by c. Now charge would be 2q by c. So option B is the correct option. Question number 3 is, the center of two identical conducting spheres of radius r is separated by a distance that is greater than 2r, like this. How does the capacitance of the system changes if the separation of two spheres is decreased? Capacitance increases, capacitance decreases, or capacitance remains the same, or this information is not enough to give answer. So here we know that capacitors are although spherical, but these are separated through a distance. These are not inside each other. So here we will use this formula like this: C is equal to A epsilon naught by D. So A is the area of the capacitor and D is the distance between the metal plates. So now as the separation is decreases, so capacitance increases, as the capacitance is having the inverse relation with the separation. So option A is the correct option. Question number 3 part B is, how does the capacitance of this system changes if R is decreased? Capacitance increases, capacitance decreases, or it remains the same, or not enough information to give the answer. As we know that the capacitance is equal to area into epsilon naught by D. So area would be, for this spherical shape, is pi r square. So here we can see that if R is decreases, then the capacitance will be decreases. Option B is the correct option. Next question is, which of the following changes to an ideal parallel plate capacitor connected to an ideal battery will result in an increase in the charge on the capacitor? Decreasing the potential difference across the plates, or decreasing the area of the plates, or decreasing the separation of the plates, or none of. Okay, so now here if we see that the charges actually depend upon the capacitance as well as the voltage. So for the charge stored depends upon the applied potential, as well as if we increase the ability of the capacitor to store more charge, then the charge could increase on the plates. So now if we see that capacitance is equal to A epsilon naught by D, so decreasing the separation can increase the capacitance. So the option C is the correct option. Next question is, equation 30.5 neglects fringing effects near the edge of the plates. Does this equation under or overestimate the capacitance of a real parallel plate capacitor? Option A is overestimate, option B is underestimate, and option C is neither. The expression is exact. So we have equation number 35, its capacitance is equal to A epsilon naught by D. That is neglecting the fringing effect. So first of all we have to know what is fringing effect. Fringing effect means that near edges electric field extended the area of the overlap so that the capacitance of the practical capacitor is much more greater than the calculated value. So here we are actually underestimating the value of capacitance through this equation. So option B is the correct option. Next question is question number 6. What is the capacitance of a single spherical conductor of radius r? This is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into r. So option B is the correct option. Next MCQ is two capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in series. Assume that C1 is greater than less than C2. The equivalent capacitance of this arrangement is C. So where? Option A is this equivalent capacitance is less than C1 by 2, or C1 by 2 is less than C is less than C1, or C1 is less than C is less than C2, or C2 is less than C and this is less than 2 of C2, or 2C2 is less than C. When the capacitors are connected in series, then their equivalent relation would be 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So here we know that C1 is less than C2. So in series combination, the equivalent capacitance is always less than the smallest capacitance of the circuit. So it means that the equivalent capacitance C would be even less than C1. So option B is the correct option, in which this capacitance is less than C1 and this equivalent capacitance is greater than C1 by 2. Question number 8 is two capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in parallel. Assume that C1 is less than C2. The equivalent capacitance of this arrangement is option A, C, equivalent capacitance is less than C1 by 2, or C1 by 2 is less than equivalent capacitance and this is less than C1, or C1 is less than equivalent capacitance is less than C2, or C2 is less than equivalent capacitance that is less than 2 of C2, or 2C2 is less than equivalent capacitance. So here the combination is parallel, so the equivalent capacitance would be by adding simply all the capacitance in the circuit. So C is equal to C1 plus C2. So now the equivalent capacitance would be greater than even the most greatest capacitance of the circuit. So now here the option D is the exact option. Now question number 9 is 4 possible capacitor arrangements are shown in figure for 3 identical capacitors like this, this and this. So which arrangement would have the largest equivalent capacitance? So this one is in parallel combination, this is hybrid combination, as well as this one is also hybrid combination. These two are in series, and from this these are in parallel, and this is the series combination. So for parallel combination, this equivalent capacitance is equal to by adding all of these capacitance C1, C2 and C3. And for series combination, this is the reciprocal of 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, and we get the equivalent capacitance. So here we can see that the largest or greatest capacitance equivalent capacitance for circuit would be for the parallel combination, and the least would be for the series combination. So here option A is the correct option. Next is question number 10. A parallel plate capacitor is connected to an ideal battery which provides a fixed potential difference. Originally, the energy stored in the capacitor is U0. If the distance between the plates is double, then the new energy stored in the capacitor will be 4 times of original energy, 2 times of original energy. This is equal to original energy, or U0 by 2 or U0 by 4. So here we can see that U0 is equal to 1 by C of V square, or capacitance is equal to A epsilon naught by D. So V is equal to E into D. E is the electric field and D is the separation. So by putting these two values in this equation, we get 1 by 2 A epsilon naught by D into E D whole square. So what you get, D will be cancelled, 1 D will be cancelled this one, and we get 1 by 2 A epsilon E square into D. So here we can see that when we are actually increasing the separation, then potential energy is having the direct relation with the separation. So when we are increasing the distance, then the potential energy would be increased. So option B is the correct option. Next question is, student originally charges a fixed capacitor to have a potential energy of 1 joule. If the student wishes to give the capacitor a potential energy of 4 joule, then the student should quadruple the potential difference across the capacitor but leaves the charge unchanged, or double the potential difference across the capacitor but leave the charge unchanged. Double both the potential difference across the capacitor and the charge. Leave the potential difference across the capacitor unchanged while doubling the charge. We have two different formulas for potential energy in case of capacitor. This is equal to 1 by 2 C of V square, or U is equal to Q square by 2C. These two formulas could not give the direct answer. These are actually for the location of the potential energy storage. So here we will use delta V is equal to delta U by Q. Here this is the potential and this is the potential energy, and Q is the charge. So when we are multiplying this one, we get this one. So delta U is equal to Q into delta V. So here we are doubling the potential difference as well as we are doubling the charge, then we get the 4 joule of energy. So option C is the correct option. Next question is question number 13. An inflated balloon is covered with a conducting surface that carries a charge Q. The balloon develops a leak and the radius starts to decrease, but no charge is lost from the surface. So how does the capacitance of the balloon changes as the balloon leaks? Capacitance increases, decreases, or remains the same, or this is not the enough information to give the answer. So here we know that inflated balloons have spherical surfaces. So electrical capacitance of spherical balloon is proportional to the radius of sphere according to this formula. C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught AB over B1. Say in case when these are two different spheres. But in case of one sphere, it would be 4 pi epsilon naught of R. So when radius is decreasing, as well as the capacitance would be decreased. So option B is the correct option. Next question is, consider a parallel plate capacitor originating with the charge Q naught, capacitance C naught, and potential difference delta V naught. There is an electrostatic force of magnitude F naught between the plates, and the capacitor has a storage energy U naught. The terminal of the capacitor are not connected to anything. A dielectric slab with K is greater than 1 is inserted between the plates. Which quantities increases? Ke greater than 1 means that any of the dielectric or any of the insulating material other than air would be introduced here. So which quantity increase? Q, charge, capacitance, potential, or force or potential energy. So here we know that when capacitor is not connected to anything like battery, then the charge would remain constant. So here when we are introducing dielectric slab with Ke greater than 1, then E definitely decreases, as the dielectric slab is having an electric field opposite to the direction of the capacitor's electric field. So here E would be decreased. So capacitance is increases here, as due to the insulating material, capacitance of the capacitor increases. We know that. So this option is correct. Force will also decrease, as force is depending upon the electric field. Charge is the constant, so electric field is decreasing, so as the force would be decreasing. So force is decreasing, potential energy is also decreasing, charge remains same, so only option B is the correct option. Consider a parallel plate capacitor originating with charge Q naught and capacitance C naught. There is an electrostatic force of magnitude F naught between the plates, and the capacitor has a stored energy U naught. The terminals of the capacitor are connected to an ideal battery, which supplies a potential difference delta V. So here the battery is actually supplying the potential difference to the capacitor. So now charge is not constant here. A dielectric slab with K is greater than 1 is inserted between the plates. Which quantity increase? So we know that with the introduction of dielectric slab in the capacitor, its capacitance increases, as you are also connecting this to the potential difference, so charge would be increased. So here with the introduction of electric field, we know that here with the introduction of dielectric slab, we know that electric field decreases. When electric field is decreases, then we know that force is also decreases. So the only option is A and B.